to represent the data or information that we have. On this screen, you see a table about favorite meals. There's breakfast, lunch, and dinner represented on this data table. We can take this data, how many people's favorite meal is breakfast, how many people's favorite meal is lunch, and how many people's favorite meal is dinner, and we can use that data and put it onto a bar graph. This is a bar graph. A bar graph is a way to organize and show data. Data, as we've talked about in class, is information and is often shown in a table, like the one about meals on the left. A bar graph uses bars to show that data. So when you look at this bar graph, we can see that here is breakfast, which starts with a B. Over on the bar graph, breakfast is represented by the letter B. On the table, you can tell that 6 people have breakfast as their favorite meal. Over here on the bar graph, we can see that 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4, 5, and 6 boxes are filled in for one for each person who chooses breakfast as their favorite meal. The same with lunch. 10 people choose lunch as their favorite meal, and so we have colored in 10 boxes. You can either count those boxes, or if you look up here, there are tiny numbers showing you how many boxes there are in the row. Finally, with dinner, there are 4 people whose favorite meal is dinner, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes colored in, 1 for each person whose favorite meal is dinner. Now when we look at this chart, it shows us that some children were selling cups of lemonade. Connor, Kate, Max, and Molly were each selling lemonade at a lemonade stand. The table shows us the number of cups of lemonade sold by each child. We then want to use a different way of showing this information that makes it easier to compare just by looking at the graph. The way that we are going to record this information is by making a bar graph. First, I made the graph with the boxes. I numbered what each line means. So if it stops here, they sold 0 cups of lemonade. If they stop at this line, they sold 10 cups of lemonade. This line is 20 cups, 30 cups, 40 cups, 50 cups, and then that would be 60 or 70 cups. So we make a bar graph. Then we put the children's names going down the side of the bar graph. Finally, I made a red bar, marking each box all the way up to the line where it marks how many cups of lemonade they sold. So Connor sold 20 cups of lemonade. Here's his line going all the way up to the 20. He sold 20 cups of lemonade. Kate sold 10 cups, so her bar goes up to the 10 cup line. Max sold 50 cups, so his bar goes all the way up to the 50, and Molly sold 40 cups, so her bar goes all the way up to the 40. You can use the bar graph to find and to compare data. Who sold the most cups of lemonade on this bar graph? Max sold the most. Look at how long his bar is. It goes the farthest. So you can tell, even without looking at the number, that Max must have sold the most. He sold 50, which is more than anyone else. Who sold the fewest cups? Kate sold the fewest cups. You can tell that because her bar on the bar graph is the shortest. Finally, we can tell that Connor sold fewer cups than Max and Molly, but he sold more cups than Kate because his bar is in the middle of these 2 sets of bars. Now, I'd like you to try it. Here's a data table of colors of cars in the parking lot. There are 6 red cars, 4 gold cars, 3 black cars, and 2 blue cars. You draw a bar graph recording what kinds of cars were parked in the parking lot. Bring your graph to school and we'll discuss them together with your desk partner.